Hello, everyone. Good evening. We are Put It On All on the Table podcast. I am Jackie Villegas, or Mrs. Villegas, as I go by on Instagram, the wellness advocate. I'm here to raise awareness of the importance of taking care of yourself, and because it's okay to not be okay, it's okay to put yourself first. I'm pretty sure we've heard it before that you cannot pour from an empty cup. So be sure you're pouring into yourself, and I'm here to provide those daily reminders and tips. And I have here my friend Roberta.
All right. Okay. And I'm Roberta. I'm the tool lady. My goal is to offer tools to live by, to enrich life, relationships, everything about your life increases the more tools you have. Some of us have less tools than others, coping tools, coping skills. I always say you're going to get something within this hour. We have two diabolical ladies that are also going to be joining us. And we're very excited to share some of our knowledge and some of our insight about some of the topics that we're going to be bringing to the table. We also offer an opportunity for you to bring some of the topics that you would like to talk about as well. We want to hear what's on your mind. Tonight, we had decided that we were going to talk about relationships. They go with friendships. Anything with a ship is a relationship. And the ships, as this one is, boyfriend, husbandship, marriage ships. So we want to get some of those things and just put them out there, talk about them. And Jackie, you want to add on?
Yeah, so the purpose. Thank you. Thank you, Roberta. So we are here. The purpose of our podcast is to raise awareness on mental health, to break down walls, provide tools. That's why we have Miss Roberta here, and then to create a safe space, to share our stories, our insight, our knowledge, because knowledge is power. So what better way to do that than to just share that knowledge and allow others to share their story as well. So we're going to also, bring people on as guests as well to share their stories and their insight as well. Um, and so let's go ahead and we can get right in it about relationships. I would like to even add a relationship with yourself. That's again that wellness part, taking care of yourself, making sure that you have a time for yourself, time to do things with your friends, because your marriage or your relationship with your significant other or even with your kids, that's not all you are. You are still you. You still have to be sure that you are taking care of yourself, taking time to do the things that you love, to do the things you enjoy, to pursue your dreams. I say it's never too late to start your dreams, whatever that may be. What's your take on that, Roberta? You're muted, hun. You're muted.
All right.
There we go.
Okay. Well, I really like that, Jackie, that you brought up self-help, self-care, because guess what? A lot of us are mothers. A lot of us are matriarchs of the family. A lot of us are just women. And we just take leadership in all things, and and sometimes we put ourselves to the side. We're number one with heart failure, heart attacks. We're leading because of that, because we don't take care of ourselves. So I love that you said that. And then why don't we have goals? Why can't we have goals? Even if we're, even because we're women, sometimes, the woman always has to put her career aside for the husband or for the family. So that's awesome that you would even say that a relationship with yourself, because a lot of people have a lot of resentment about putting themselves last. If it's even self-care, when I first met Jackie, she was telling me, she was my most important person. I put myself first, and I go get my needs are most important to me. And I don't care what goes on, I'm gonna get that done, even with my busy
Yeah.
schedule, because I want to feel good. That's part of me feeling good. That's where it starts at. Our relationships, that's where it starts at. Our self-worth, self-esteem,
Yes.
all of those things.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
Definitely.
All right.
Someone
Well,
even
thank you.
Yeah, someone even said, put a comment that work life balance is important. Um, and people don't even really don't understand what it is. They really don't understand. They're either all the time going, and don't really stop, to really think and say, well, what do I need for myself? Or even taking that time throughout the day to say, what can I do for myself today? To just give yourself those few minutes, um, to either just breathe, um, to wind down. Sometimes even you can even do that while you're working, right? While you're working, if something's going on, it's busy, taking those few
Mhm.
minutes to say, you know what, I'm just gonna take a few minutes to step back and recollect myself, right? So yeah, so I definitely do work life balance, and prioritizing as well goes along with that as well. um, with we
Right.
have.
Hi. We were having some technical difficulties, so we had to switch laptops. So here we are. Okay.
Here we go.
All
Okay.
right.
Hi, ladies. So
Oh,
we dove in talking
hello.
about relationships,
Yeah,
and
a
we
while
started
ago.
off with talking about relationships, uh, with yourself, taking care of yourself. So Jay and Nisha, if y'all want to go ahead and introduce yourself before we dive back in.
Okay, so I'm Jay with the ish.
I'm Nisha, the social advocate. Where'd it
Awesome.
go? Oh, there we go.
Okay, awesome. So, and what does that mean, Jay? Let everyone know what it means to be Jay with the ish.
Okay, hold on. I'm lagging a little bit. Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Hey. Yes, we can.
Okay, hey. So
Hi.
basically, what it means is that I bring all the issues, all the problems to the table. So that's pretty much what I do.
Awesome. And then Nisha, our social advocate.
I am basically very passionate about social issues, whether it's racism, social justice, LGBTQI issues, just basically sociology. That's me. I fight tooth and nail for basically social justice for the most part.
Jay, so
Now,
what
ladies,
is it?
the work. Uh-huh.
What'd you say, Jackie?
I was saying, Jay and Raenesha,
Go
what
ahead, Jackie.
yeah, what is y'all's take? What do you with relationship to yourself? Because I think that's first and foremost important, right? To take care of yourself. What do you feel personally? What's your take on that, on self?
Jay and I was actually talking about that earlier. So we were talking about in the car, we went to Olive Garden. We were talking about the importance of having a relationship with yourself before you can have a relationship with anybody else. Like you have to at least have a little bit of yourself together and, know what you want, know what you're looking for. And I hate the word healed, but be somewhat healed before you're able to really engage and be at your best for other people in relationships. That was our take.
Yeah. So, for example, like being organized and like getting close. I don't know if you guys are religious or whatever, but I am. So I'm a religious person. So and then I also have a routine schedule. So I was just telling Raenesha, like, if I don't have that routine schedule and I'm not talking to God, how can I have a relationship with other people? So that's my pretty much my intake on it. Like I just have to have that one-on-one relationship with myself. Got to get self together with that self-care in order for me to have a relationship with anybody else.
Because you can't pour into nobody if you're empty.
Oh, I like that. Cheers.
Yes.
Okay. Now, someone asked, what do we do for a living?
She working on.
Did you hear
What was
me?
that, Roberta? Yes, what was that?
I said, someone asked, what do we do for a living? Do we want to answer that before we go back to the?
Sure. Well, I am a mental health professional, but I also have multiple business. So I have my own loan company, as well as I provide mental health aid services to different cities, organizations like that. And I'm trying to open up my own group home for kids. So that's the next step.
Me, I'm just a mental health professional right now, and I have my own pole dance business.
Nice.
Awesome. And then I'm a community outreach coordinator. And I also do have my own business as well. I have an event rentals and planning and do invitations with my business. It's called Jackie's Events LLC. So that's my business, as well as being an advocate through Instagram and Facebook, tidbits and information about what it means, what is mental wellness, the different dimensions with wellness, and also advocating for autism since my oldest son has autism.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Roberta.
Okay. Well, I'm licensed here in the state of Texas as a substance abuse counselor, actually, and substance abuse a long time. So just people building, people building. We can never have too much of that. Everything we do in life is about starting and helps. And as Jay said, you know what? If we can't have a relationship with ourselves, we don't even feel comfortable when other people are presenting with a relationship with us. It is because we're so uncomfortable with ourselves sometimes that when people start talking to us, we don't even feel comfortable with that. And then, so I really like when Jackie said, "Well, hey, we got to talk about ourselves first, because it's the truth. That's where it started. It starts with us, the people in the mirror. We got to be looking at this person first, and say, okay, what we gonna do with her, or what
Right.
can we do? Because that's what we're here for. I heard Jay about the religion. We're here for each other. All being used for whatever that's already within us. So I'm excited. So I think that relationships, I think it's an excellent topic. I don't know who picked it, but it's an excellent one. Because
Jay
even
picked
before
it.
we got logged in, I seen something say, "Don't waste your time," and because time is short.
Right.
So we
Yes.
wasting it on a bunch of mess. We wasting time, and and one of the people in our audience asked about how do we do work balance. Same difference. We got to have a
Yes.
balance in everything we do. It's mind, get your will, circle, make your circle, divide that circle in three even places.
Yes.
Right there,
So
your
why do you feel like our
mind,
relationship
in one place,
fails?
and even
That's
your
a
self
wrong
out.
question.
That's how you balance. You
Wrong question.
identify your balance.
Exactly.
So some of us don't have it in all of those places. Because we're not perfect, but we just work. Just think it's excellent that we are identified.
Yes.
And y'all got something. Ladies, y'all got something to say, or what y'all think about it?
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So we kind of turned off the camera because we was
Lagging too
lagging
bad.
too bad. My thing is,
Okay,
my
Jackie.
intake. Well, I guess they don't hear us.
I can hear you, Jay. Go ahead. We can
Oh.
hear you.
Oh,
That's
okay.
Okay. I'm
All
not for
right.
sure.
Well, do you all have any input or?
I was just basically, I know we talking about like self-care and our relationship to ourselves. So yeah, that sounds good and all, but why do our relationship, I know it's this a broad topic, but why do our relationships fail? Like far as like with our parents, far as with our relationships with our significant others, far as like friends, like if we supposed to be focusing on self and care and we have this all together, why is it that our relationships are failing? And I know somebody asked me this and I tell them all the time it's because it's within the self, so it starts with self. So when you see that your relationship with your mom or you see that your relationship with your friends is not going well, you have to sit back and ask yourself like, hey, I wonder why I'm the way I am. Because I know me, I'm so blunt and I'm so bold that sometimes I forget to understand what a person is saying because I'm too busy trying to get my point across.
mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, no, because you looking at it this way, you looking at it that way, and they like, no, Jay, I need you. So I had to sit back and say, hey, I need to listen to understand,
Mm-hmm.
not to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's all communication plays right along with all of that too. So if you know that you cannot communicate, sometimes you got to have self-talk with yourself. So sometimes I look in that mirror and I'm like, okay, so Jay, how you gonna deliver your response? How can you act on this? How you gonna act on that? Sometimes we gotta talk within ourselves. So we cannot miss that communication part before we have a relationship with ourselves. So we got to be able to communicate with ourselves in order to communicate with others.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're talking about like a self-evaluation, right?
Exactly.
And it takes a certain level of humility and vulnerability to really sit back and ask yourself, you know, what am I doing wrong? Where are my flaws at? And what can I, not only where are my flaws at, but what can I do to improve? Because I hear people say all the time, well, this is just how I am. This is just how I am. People have to take it or leave it. Like, yes, it's okay to have flaws, but personal development and growth is very important in order to have valuable and meaningful and long-lasting relationships with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I also feel like, I know a lot of people are always like, well, why do relationships fail? Sometimes I just feel like people just ain't meant to be in your life. Everybody ain't meant to be in a relationship with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes things just don't work. Sometimes you're not matched. And we talk about, you know, spirituality and God and all that. God ain't assigned everybody to be in your life that you come across.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Some people ain't supposed to be there. So I think that's an important piece, is also just evaluating, hey, I'm trying in this relationship. This person is trying this relationship, but it's just not working. Mm-hmm. We're just not for each other. So maybe it's the best we just end this relationship and find our own personal village, because we are clearly not a part of each other's village right now.
Okay.
But that's just my take.
So let me ask you guys a question.
And it's, I mean, I think both ways, because I kind of hear what Jay was saying too. So I think both ways is to wander, like to reflect. There's nothing wrong with reflect, but the thing is not to give it forward. So if it does, we do have to learn how to keep moving. But the other thing is, you know what I've learned? People treat you how you let them treat you. And then they feel about yourself. So if you don't feel too good about yourself, you'll often find people treat you in that. Really, that again starts with self. You know, why am I not worthy?
Yeah, but you gotta also understand that people,
you know, sometimes that's what we tell ourselves. You know, even for me, sometimes. So even for me, I have to get past that thought pattern, as Jay said, that do some self. Yeah, it is for me. But now when we're dealing with people, of course not, because we can't make a person. You can never make a person love you. You got to love yourself. Yes. So you know that's just what it is. So that's it. It's having enough with yourself. So
that's good stuff, Roberta.
You know, I really do. You're right, and like I said, the toxicity, to know when it's a toxic situation. Some things just ain't good for us, and sometimes we want things that ain't good for us. I agree with.
Okay, so let me ask you ladies a question. So you also have, like, people have different backgrounds, so they might not know how to understand themselves, or they might not know what a woman look like, or they might not know what a woman should feel like. So I feel like, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was in my 20s, no one taught me how to be a woman or how to feel. I had to go off to college and learn it for myself, you know? So when you say that, yeah, you gotta love yourself, and no one should treat you that way. But it's like, how do I know if that person treated me bad if I don't know what a woman's supposed to look like or what a woman's supposed to feel like? So how would I know?
I feel like, because there's a difference between being treated like a woman or being a woman, and people treating you bad. People gonna treat you bad. They're gonna treat you bad. You're gonna know when somebody treating you bad.
Okay, but friends treat us bad, right?
Yes,
friends treat us bad. Our parents treat us bad. Yes. So come on now.
I'm just I'm just not understanding the correlation between. Are you trying to ask like, how do I know when my man is not treating me as the woman that I want to be treated like, or how I should be treated as his woman?
It can be anybody. I'm just nitpicking off Roberta. She said that one of her comments, she said that, yeah, you should not accept nobody treating you bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I was saying, like, how would I know that I'm being
Well,
treated?
Jay is saying that we all come from different backgrounds.
Right.
I mean, for me,
and
right.
that we all have to learn. And some people don't want to learn.
What boss moves only by me said.
So what do
for
you
me,
do with that?
Maybe it's just in my head, personally, in my thoughts. It's simple, like a simple answer.
Yeah.
You don't feel good. But then sometimes you take it a step deeper, like kind of, and I ain't trying to put my business out there, but reflecting on my previous relationship, I knew at the beginning stuff didn't feel good, but I wanted to work on it. But as time went on, more and more things started to happen and manifest from originally didn't feel good. And it got to the point where I was just kind of confused, like, is this really what this is supposed to be like? Because I didn't have much of it, nothing really to compare it to. So I see what you're saying at the same time. But my brain is like, well, duh, like, it ain't going to feel good. You're going to be mad, you're going to be sad. But I don't know. That's a difficult question. I say therapy. That's my answer to everything.
Okay, come see us then.
and that's what we.
Yeah.
So now y'all done came to the podcast now. So that's why we
put this ish on the goddamn table.
You know, that need to be, as they just said, need to be taught this. We deserve synonymous.
Mm-hmm.
It goes synonymous. We deserve respect and to be women, because that's what we are.
Yes. And in my line of work, when I think about it, like
we deserve to be treated good.
Who I have to teach, like,
that's why
interpersonal skills, relationship skills, and how to identify, like, okay, this person isn't treating me right. Okay, this doesn't feel good. Okay, I shouldn't be told this, but honestly, I never really took it home. Yes, life coaching therapy. Yes, especially getting an outside view.
Yeah, definitely. I know.
That's
right. I'm an open book. I share my personal, healing journey. With therapy, it within going through therapy, it came to light that a lot of the things, the way that I react, and making assumptions of how someone else is going to react, that went back to what did you grow up with, and it did go back to
season. We in the same season.
Me
too. Preach, Jackie.
It came back to the home, and like they're asking, did we all come from 2-parent homes? I do come from a 2-parent home, but they got married. My parents got married very young, and then they got divorced once I was graduated from high school. But there was a lot of dysfunctionality throughout it too. Like there were things that I've seen and things like that, without going too much into detail. So it does go back to however someone is raised and what they see, that's what they accept and they perceive as okay. Even though it's not okay, but it's that generational thing, right? You see, and it just keeps going and going and going. So whatever you saw growing up, the way maybe if you had 2 parents, the way they treated each other, or if they were in the same home or not in the same home, or single parent home, how were they in their relationships? That has a lot to do with it. What you accept and what you tolerate as well. I know with my relationship with my husband, we've been together 14 years, married for 6 years, and a lot of it's communication, and I know we've talked about that. And it's a two-way street. It's listening to one another, like Raenesha or Jay said it. I can't remember who said it. That you have to listen and actually take in what that other person is saying, and not thinking that your way is the correct way. The way what you're saying is valid. That other person may have a valid point as well. So we have to learn to tell ourselves, okay, I've already put my point across. I need to listen to what they're saying, and I need to process that as well. So a lot of it is open communication, not just communication, but open communication, being open to listening to one another.
That's good stuff.
That's good.
Um, Boss Moves Only by Me said, "What are your thoughts on staying together in toxic relationships just for the kids?" Okay, so
Now
boom,
she
Holly, right? I
asks
did a
about
whole
staying in a
study.
relationship if it's toxic. My ex-husband was an addict. My children were young, and there's no way I was going to continue putting them through that trauma. And of course, after watching, because I was raised by older grandparents, and they were together all my life as well. So after watching that, I thought, okay, people stay together forever, and it wasn't as dysfunctional because it was so old, it was old school. But when I got older, it got better, as you would say. And so with that, nothing could survive that. So I think keeping your children in a toxic situation just because it's mom, that's dad, that's more unhealthy. Because what you're teaching them is more unhealthy behavior, also to you deal with forever. Because what we do, and what we go through as children, as Jay was saying, and as Raenesha said, and as Jackie just said, that's our reference. That is our reference. So if we're in a toxic situation and they looking up at us, and we're the adults in the situation, and we decide, okay, I'm gonna I'm staying through here. We're not doing anybody well because we're all gonna be sick at the end because it's toxic, and it could be deadly. My situation was deadly. So I would ever encourage anyone, ending up in debt, any type of abusive situation.
Right. I mean, and the proof is in the pudding. Like, there's plenty of studies that prove that staying in toxic relationships for the sake of the children does more damage for you and your children than it would be being separate and the children living in a one parent home that's happy and healthy. So definitely, that's. I mean, and I know it's hard for people to leave toxic situations when they have kids, so it's heavy, but it's worth it in the end.
Yeah, and it goes back to
Yeah,
thinking,
and
is
sometimes
this what I
what
want my
though,
kids?
ladies,
It goes back to considering, is this really what I want to teach my kids? Um,
what I
even though
find,
it'll be hard, even though it'll be difficult to leave that relationship, you really have to think, is this what I want to teach my kids? Is this what I want them to think that love is, to accept, this abuse, or for them to be exposed to substance abuse, or even just the way someone talks to you as well. With my relationship with my husband, I we've come a long way, and I've told
or the
him that, like,
possibility of not having
you have to
mama.
watch how you talk to me in front of the kids, and we have to watch how we talk to each other as well, because then they're going to think that that is the appropriate way that you should speak to. Roberta, I think you were trying to say
Yeah.
something.
Now I agree with that. Oh no, I was just saying that I agree with that, and I was just reading communication runs the nation. So yes,
Yes.
ma'am, we have to communicate. But the thing is that a lot of us will stay in a situation because of pride, because we have made choices, and we don't want to back down off those choices. So that's one thing. And then also being women into a sick relationship. But it's, knowing, no, it's not. We don't want to be, we don't deserve that. I'll say it that way. And then there's nothing worse than put children through a loss of their parents because of a situation that is toxic. That was always my main fear of being in a toxic situation. So I do feel that as well. I say, and we've seen this as well. Secrets kill. So we know that when we keep secrets, because some of us, we keep it hidden.
Yeah.
And not say nothing, not say, hey, I'm having, if somebody even asks you how you doing, we're taught to say, oh, I'm fine. And it's sad we could be breaking up like, oh no, I'm not fine, I'm about to die, or I'm dead inside, but I'm telling you I'm fine. But we really have to stop that. We have to stop doing that to ourselves and being able to say, hey, I'm not well today, I'm not doing good. And then for that person on the other side that we talking to, we got to be, we have to learn how to be more compassionate and not be like, oh, or gossipy or whatever, to take it, because we all got times. We all have times. We all have a 80-20. Sometimes my 20% might be bad and your 80% may be good. Then sometimes it might flip. I might have my 80% and you might have your 20. We got to be open to that. So that's it for me.
Yep. And what else
I'm
you
so
got for
excited
us?
that we are talking.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys,
you get a lot of people.
For me, I know I hear not only just us, but just people in general talk about communication, and that's good. It's 100% something we should all be working on endlessly. But I feel like a lot of people don't even understand what it means to not just communicate, but effective communication and positive communication skills, right? Some people think, well, I said how I feel, so I communicated. Like, not necessarily. You probably were very dismissive. You probably were belittling. You probably were offensive. You probably cursed. You probably did all these things. And while, yes, you communicated how you felt, it was not effective. And you probably incited a fight. So I think if we all did our own, like I love to talk about personal development and do some research and take some classes, and like we talk about, see a therapist to really fully understand what it means to communicate and where our communication issues lie within us, and it can really help out. So like a guy I was with when we first got together, he was in the most toxic relationship I had ever heard of. To the point where when I used I feel statements, like, okay, I feel this way because you did this. I would like if you didn't do it because I'll feel more valued. He'd be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. What do that mean? Like, your relationship was that toxic, you can't even understand effective and positive communication. So I think that's just something that I encourage us all as professionals, especially what we do, and our audience to do is really understand and learn more moving forward and be more proactive on what it means to actually effectively communicate with other people. And
takes out an argument.
So yeah, just be more mindful and understand that the way you communicate with one person might not necessarily be an effective way to communicate with the next. Yes. So that's my take.
Very true. What else you got for us, Jay?
Ladies, I think we're putting it all on the table.
Okay.
We are.
They got something good for us. They got something good for us for the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, I wanted to show my face.
Come on. Let's do this.
Okay, let me try to.
What happened? There we go.
Okay. Hi, we back again. Hi, y'all. Okay. Alrighty. So I did want to talk about we have been talking about relationships, so we'll get that out there. It's been a really good topic. But someone actually reached out to me in my email because I've been asking everybody like what we should talk about and things like this. So I'm going to read you guys her letter. Okay. So Queens, are y'all ready to put it all on the table and hear what she have to say?
We're ready.
All right.
With it.
All right. All right, y'all. Okay. Say, hey Jay, I hope you can give me some type of advice with my situation. My name is Shay. I am 21 years old. I work 2 jobs to help pay for school. I am a senior in college at UTA. I have no kids. I am currently dating this guy that is 28 years old with 4 kids.
Lord have mercy.
It's all right though. It's okay.
It might be okay. It might work out.
Yeah, maybe. Lives with his friend with no job.
Wait.
Okay, no, we're not.
We ain't doing it. It's interesting.
Okay, it's a. So he have so she don't have no kids, and he's 28 years old with 4 kids, live with his friend with no job. I really love him. Oh, but I feel like I step on eggshells because he complains about everything I do. I feel as if he justified the reason why I feel a certain way. Don't get me wrong, he's nice. Okay. Don't get me wrong, he's nice and sweet to me, but we don't do anything but lay up in my apartment and have sex all day. Damn.
She's 21.
Yeah, she's right. When I do ask for more, he tells me, you know my situation, and when I get myself together, I will give you the world.
Girl, bye.
I do not want to lose him, so I guess I have to wait until he get his stuff together. My biggest hurt is listening to my friend's relationship and hearing how great the relationship is, and I wonder why mine's like that. Why God made me fall in love with a God that I am struggling with. How can I get my life back? Queens.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Yes, Robin, Vixen Jesus.
You know what?
Talk about it.
Now, sex ain't love.
That part. Come on, Roberta.
So take that off the list.
But it's good.
Sex ain't love.
She said it's good though.
You can buy sex, baby. Sex ain't love.
She said it's good, and she said what she said.
You can get good sex all day long. That's free.
Yeah.
And that's free.
No,
that's
it can't all be about. It can't all be about the sex. It can't. And he ain't got nothing to offer. He don't. But to be in bed in the apartment, no. I say run while you still have a chance.
Baby, she ain't nobody dog.
She's young.
Right.
She should be living in.
Baby, find somebody who's gonna be their star. Be their star. You somebody that you. She what?
But you gotta also understand.
I was just saying she need to find some.
This go back to my question that she don't understand what love is and what a woman supposed to be treated like.
She's blinded by the love.
So this go back to that. What I was just saying, like,
right. You right. But that's why I'm telling you that ain't love. You can get sex all day long. They got whole stores with sex toys, and them toys sure can't love you. So no, that's 2 different things. Good sex and love is 2 different things, baby. And that's to all my sisters out here. Don't do that one. Just say okay, and if you like it. That's okay. You get yours and give them theirs. But you don't. That's not love. That's not love. And if he say I got to get myself together, then that means you need to find somebody who ready for you.
And it ain't no
he ain't ready.
He's ain't got no job.
And there's somebody out there you can be their star. They can set you on up there in the sky for them. They'll love you. Love to see you.
Oh, I feel for sister. I hope she
What'd
listening.
you
We
say?
don't want to be too hard, but
Okay, but let me ask you guys, don't get on here acting like y'all ain't been with no nothing. Don't get on here
we're
acting
speaking
like
from experience, Jay.
don't get on here acting like y'all ain't ran across no nothing man that
And
had
look,
issues, that had
exactly.
Don't get on here acting like
And we not. That's why I'm telling you.
okay, I'm just saying, I'm putting that ish out there. Okay.
But like they saying, he know what's going on. He know what he doing to her. That's why he brushed
That's
her
why
off
I'm
and
telling you what I look
manipulate
tell you. I ain't got time.
her. She can do better.
So what's the warning sign? So what's the I'm still
And
No,
looking
God,
at
what's the
get
first
this.
one?
And you can still come over here and flip me like cheating. I'm still not in love.
but we got but we gotta also understand we really don't know much to the story. It just said he could have lost his job. Living with friends, I know like I got a few guy friends that actually moved back with their parents or moved back with friends because they was trying to save money and shoot, they lived at home by themselves and they didn't have no girlfriend. So shoot, why waste that money? And you can go back and stay with your mom and save.
But that's just a lot of baggage.
But I
for
mean,
21
but
years
love,
old.
if they love you,
All
they
that,
gonna be
he
with
don't be dating nobody right now. Like we talking about, he need to focus on himself before he.
They gonna be with you. You know, you can't make nobody. We can have an imagination, and we can fantasize. You know, I do it all the time. I be thinking one thing, be a whole different something else. So really, just be good to yourself. Be better to yourself. Because if somebody say, "Well, I'm not ready for this," that means they don't see no building with you. He ain't so start shopping and looking. You know what I'm saying? Let's just go plant these little seeds, see where they go. He ain't. She ain't said that. She just said he throwing down in the bed. We're gonna get you nowhere.
You
I'm
have to
just
know
saying.
your worth. She needs to know her worth, and she doesn't have any kids, right? He has kids.
Right.
4.
Right? He has kids.
Okay.
So
She
she should ask herself, if I had a daughter, is this what I would want her to think that love is? A man that has nothing to offer me but to be in the apartment. We don't go nowhere.
1 minute out of me. Right.
Give me nothing. I'm not getting anything out of it. Is that what I want? If I had a daughter, is this the example that I would want to set? And she has to know her worth. She's worth a whole lot more. She's obviously pursuing an education, a degree. Right. So she's smart. She knows she just thinks that maybe she thinks that's all she's worth, but that's not all you're worth. You can do a whole lot better than that. Move on. You have nothing tying you to
agree.
it. You don't have a kid together, so move on and find someone who will appreciate you for you and will know your worth. And there's so many more men out there that do just that for women.
I'm gonna say this. Everybody, for all the young ladies that's in their early 20s, I wish somebody would have told me this. To make sure you set high expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you set low expectation, when you get 30, 40, you're going to feel like you can't chase nothing else higher than what you already have. So what I mean by that is that if you go in and when you go off to college, you want that college man that's pursuing the same career or that's got that same drive and career goal and school goal as you. But if you sitting here and you want to go after these thugs, these gangsters, these boys that's good in bed and all that, you're going to catch that. And you're going to continue to catch that every day. And then to the point that now you 30 and you wondering why you gotta wait on a good man because now you decide that, oh, okay, I want better for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go ahead and set the bar right now and go ahead and say, okay, like I need somebody that's in school with me or that's getting a trade that's trying to pursue a career just as well as I am. You know, I don't think nothing wrong with having kids or whatever because I know several guys that have kids and take good care of their kids. You know, they started out young at 20 some years old, 18-year-olds having kids, and look where they at now, making six figures,
Jay,
wealthy.
right here.
You know, go ahead, baby. Go ahead. What's your
Right
question?
here.
Oh,
Married
she
at
said.
18, baby. Right here.
Oh,
She said
yeah.
she's an example.
So, look, yeah, Miss
I'm
Roberta, you know, her
right
relationship probably stepped back, but then
here.
it was got on track. So honestly, all that kids, I don't like judging people, learning from previous experience, but I do expect him to have a goal right along with mine. You know, people fall short. You never know how this got. See me, I'm trying to like dig a little deeper. I try to look outside the box, inside the box of the potential because
Honestly, I stopped doing that a long time ago. That's how you fool yourself. I learned with my own experience. Take things for what it is. I don't care how we started, what you got going, whatever. What is happening right now? And right now, it ain't going the way I want it to go. So I need to walk away.
Yep. Well, this was great. We're at our cutoff time. It's 9 o'clock
oh, okay.
already, but no, this was good, and I'm glad that you brought that. You know, that she asked the question, and we're able to provide some, sort of insight and advice. And anyone else who wants to ask us questions, our email is down there, info@onthetable.com, and in our Facebook, put it all on the table. So reach out to us with any more questions, and we definitely would like to provide any advice that we can and insight. So this was great. Thank y'all for joining us on our first episode.
See y'all next week.
See y'all next Monday.
Hey.